Hey kids, this is John Corabi from the Dead Daisies, and you are watching or listening or both to We Go to 11. Turn it up.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
So we got like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. That's enough time. I think I was planning on like 25 or something like that, but we'll cut to the chase. So the new album. So it's that blues record. I think the last time you were promoting Light 'Em Up, you had mentioned briefly that you guys had cut this blues record. So that's coming out today. Looking for Trouble. And there's also an accompanying documentary. So tell me about the doc. Did that come? Was that planned, or did that just spontaneously, organically transpire as you guys were cutting this thing?
Well, it kind of spontaneously transpired, but we always have, whether we're touring, whether we're in a studio, even on days off, we have a guy that travels with us all the time. He just does all the social media stuff for us. So he just kind of filmed the whole process. Right. And as we were doing it, picking some of these songs, we were kind of explaining where it was written and who wrote it, just for history's sake, whatever. And they wound up putting it together, editing it, and putting it out as an accompanying piece.
So the way you guys selected the tunes, I mean, because there's some staples on here. I mean, obviously you did Crossroads, which I think even maybe some of the hard rock fans that aren't really into blues music would be familiar with that. And then, I'm Ready, which is one of my favorite versions of a cover that you guys did in a Muddy Waters tune. How did you guys draft a list of the tunes that you guys cut to compile this thing?
It's funny. Like, I don't want to give you a big, long history lesson. Obviously, when the blues were, when it was kind of being created, or when it was in its element, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, white America looked at the blues is like the African-American devil music. So it was kind of underappreciated here. And it really took, like, for the most part, there's some American artists that embraced it, like Elvis. But, it was, the Chuck Berrys, Elvis Presley's, Jerry Lee Lewis, but mainly most of the British artists took a lot of these obscure songs and reworked them and then sent them back to America, all nice and tidy and wrapped up in a gift bow. But like the songs that we chose them we've always done a tip of the hat to the artists we grew up listening to. And these are all songs that in our youth, we had no idea who Robert Johnson was. When I heard Crossroads, I heard it from Cream. And then I heard it again with Leonard Skinner in the 70s on their live album. So these are all songs that were introduced to us by our 60s and 70s heroes that we were like, oh, this is a cool song. For years, we just thought it was their song. And then you do the homework in history. Now we have Google and YouTube, and then you wind up going, oh, God, like Sweet Home Chicago is actually not, Foghat didn't write that. That's an old Robert Johnson song. You know what I mean? So these are just all songs that we heard from Jeff Beck and Aerosmith, Ram Jam and Cream and, what I said, Jeff Beck already. But, they're all bands that we were introduced us to the blues through their interpretations.
Sweet Home Chicago. Again, you just mentioned that one. That's another one of the standouts. I really enjoy that one. But how much of a thrill was it for you to cut Walking the Dog?
Well, it was funny because I used to play that in a cover band when I was, I don't know, 14 years old, 15 years old. I just, one of those things, I just didn't realize it wasn't an Aerosmith song. Never clicked.
Right.
And then I was in Rat, who
Mhm.
covered, you know,
Yeah, that
they
was on
covered the
EP.
song as well on their EP.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh man, we love, Aerosmith's version of the, again, didn't dawn on me.
Right.
And then it's like this beautiful tool called Google and YouTube. And then you start looking it up and you go, oh, wait, that's a guy named Rufus Thomas?
Yeah.
Who the hell? You go back and watch his version and it's insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I saw the clip in the
it
documentary,
was-
right?
the hardest part for me was to not go into that, that thing when I was back in the day. I used to be in an Aerosmith tribute band. It was like, okay, do your damnedest. Do not try and sound like Steven Tyler.
Right.
Just do your own thing on it. So I tried to. I don't know if I accomplished it or not, but
Yeah.
it's. But that was a fun one to do.
Did you guys have any additional content when it came to some of these other covers that you guys stashed in the vault or anything? I mean, is there a possibility there could be a second compilation collection?
I don't remember. I do. I can tell you one. We tried to take a stab at, oddly enough, another Robert Johnson song called Terraplane Blues.
Okay, yeah.
And, but it was funny, like, for this stuff, we tried to do our own thing, but keep the integrity of the song.
Right.
And for some reason, that song just started going so left field that we put it aside and we added Sweet Home Chicago.
Okay.
But we liked the music for the song.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went back to Nashville to finish up what became Light 'Em Up, our last record.
Right.
And we kept listening to this track and we're like, God, it's so good. So I guess being inspired from the South and just the blues thing and then doing the research, we realized like songs like Black Betty was like a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
cotton field workers and the prison guys would sing these
Right.
songs. So I wrote an imaginary song or like whatever. I went in and I told Marty, I said, dude, that music that we were doing for Terraplane Blues, I want to use it because I wrote these lyrics about a guy that gets into a bar fight over a woman and kills the guy and goes to prison his whole
Mhm.
life. And he's like just sorry.
Yeah.
And we wound up putting it on. It was the last track on the Light 'Em Up record. It wound up being called Take My Soul.
Right. Nice. John, so North American dates, I know we saw you guys in Portland last fall. But is there anything tentative at this point as far as any fall dates in North America at all?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know our manager and our agents are working on stuff for us.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's going to be later this year,
Right.
or early next year. But right now this record just dropped today.
Sure.
We're still promoting the Light 'Em Up record as well.
Right.
So we've got 2 records under our belt. I would imagine we're going to do an American tour at some point.
Right.
I just don't know if it's going to be this year or early next year.
And how much of the material off this Looking for Trouble are you guys inserting into the set list? And is there like a rotation of tunes that you guys have at the moment?
Well, we were doing I'm Ready,
Mm-hmm.
Crossroads, and Going Down.
Right.
But I think I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I think we're switching one of the songs and we're adding Boom Boom,
Oh, okay.
which is,
Right.
can single at this point. So yeah, I mean, we're doing like 3 songs, I believe, from the new
Nice.
record, the blues album, and then we've got a couple new songs from Light 'Em Up, and then the mismatch of what we did in the
Right.
The sets are getting a little difficult to put
Yeah.
together, put it that way.
No kidding. You guys will be doing like a 2-hour thing.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty close now. I mean, the last run we did in when I think we were in Europe,
Mhm.
and we were running about an hour 40, hour 45, whatever. So, we just have fun, dude. We kind of forget. I know we're supposed to be looking at the clock, but we forget.
Right. Yeah. And I know when you guys performed in Portland last fall, I think it was 90 plus. I mean, I think it was close to an hour 40 as well. I mean, so you guys
Yeah.
definitely give the fans the bang for the buck for sure. So,
But we're, to be honest with you, we're having fun too. So it's,
Mhm.
again, sometimes I'm sitting there, we're singing, and we've got like 3 more songs on the set, and the manager's like, "Damn, like you've been playing, cut
Right.
one."
Right.
So whatever. We don't have any clocks on stage. We're just kind of
Right.
running through our. Some days I'll tell a joke or two, and
Sure.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We kind of lose all track of time when we're up there.
So I just got a couple more things, John, and I'll cut you loose. Thank you for your time because I know you're up against the clock, and I want to make sure you get to the next one. But just a couple things. Any status on the potential for another follow-up solo album, and what
Yeah, I'm working on that right now. Actually, I've been working with Marty, and so I'm just right now just kind of writing songs, and I got a bunch written already, some recorded. So we're just trying to finish up the writing process, and then at that point, just get into a studio, jam them, and lay them down.
Nice.
So hopefully, have something done by July, August. And then I don't know when we're going to put it out, because that's my thing. Like,
Yeah, right.
I don't want to do anything that interferes with what the Daisies doing.
Sure.
And I don't want them to interfere with what I'm doing. So we just got to keep, find little gaps and do things at the appropriate times.
Real quick, I'm guessing you're familiar with that Kiss event in Vegas here in November coming up. Kulik is part of it. If asked, I mean, would you entertain the idea of doing like a union reunion?
I don't. I mean, I get the tie to Kiss, but Union was kind of its own entity.
Right.
But I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I've done enough Kiss conventions in the past.
Right.
Even with the Daisies, we've done Kiss related things,
Sure.
the cruises and so forth. So I've actually become friends with a lot of those guys, so I wouldn't be against it at all.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, John.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
We'll talk again. Hopefully see you in Portland soon.
I hope so.
Yep. Thank you.
See you, pal.
Bye.